अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion on Prabhupada's purport on this important subject. Here we were discussing yesterday the how a living entity is entangled and how by knowing the entanglement we will come out of it. That's the reason actually all these things are given. Say now we may say, Array, everything is done by Prakriti. If Prakriti is doing everything, why a living entity should be blamed? Prakriti Kremanani. Krishna is so clearly telling. And then second thing also we discussed that everything is by Swabhava. Say, I am programmed to do in a particular way. I behave in a particular way. Then why are you blaming me? I am already programmed to behave in a particular way. And material nature is performing the activity. How can we blame the living entity? Why the instructions are given to us? It should be, we should be exempted, right? But now, very important thing is like when Krishna is, when Arjuna is asking that why is it Baladiva Niyojitaha? I am forced to act in this way. Then Krishna is not blaming metal nature, he is not blaming our own Swabhava. Say, I am made to act in a particular way. My Swabhava is I am very short tempered person. My Swabhava is I am very mild person. So that is my Swabhava. So I am going to act according to my Swabhava, and then it is all done by the metal nature. So even my Swabhava. But now we cannot blame the karma also. Swabhava means our karma only. I am born like this because of my karma. So I will be behaving like my karma only. Our body is actually our prarabdha karma. So it's not just physical body, even the subtle body is also our karma only. Now, based on my karma, I am getting body. So I'll act according to my karma only. So how can you blame? So for that, but Krishna is telling the reason for that is he is telling Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudva. He is telling it's actually mode of passion. Now, when the punishment is given to the living entity, it is not given to the action that he has done. The punishment is to the mentality because Prakriti Kriyamanani, metal nature is doing the activity. So, where is a question of punishing us? Because metal nature did the activity. Say, if a person came and killed somebody, he killed an animal. Now, it is material nature who did the activity of killing. The hand, the metal nature, the hand is made of material nature. The weapon which is used of material matter, and the body of the animal is also matter. So exactly what is happening is Prakriti Kriyamana. Then why the punishment? For whom the punishment? The punishment is to the mentality. The sinful mentality is actually punished. Anytime the punishment, if living entity is sent to hell, living entity is getting some diseases, living entity is kept in a very terrible mental traumas and all, it's all to the mentality. Like recently we heard in New York, it's a tragedy that so many big celebrities' houses are burnt. And just 2 days before they said it's a godless city, and now the punishment is not to the they are doing so many sinful activities. The punishment is to the mentality. We will be have to pay for that sinful mentality. Like mother is punishing the child. She is not punishing like no child broke something in the house. He broke some big jar or some glass or something. Now father is very rich. He can purchase 10 more things like that. But still the child is punished. Why? Why are you punishing? The child is already, father is having so many things. A child can break 100 such things. But you don't allow the child to break like that. Why? We don't want him to become, we don't want to become a tyrant or something. We want him to become a good person. So the punishment is given so that he will remain nicely. So it is not for the activity, it is for the mentality. So Lord is also like that. So here, All these instructions, all these things that are explained here is basically to help us change our mentality. How this mentality is catching us and holding us to this material world. So here also, Lord is trying to help. He did help in all this to Mother Devahuti. And then now Devahuti is offering her prayers. She says that how the Supreme Lord, now she is, this is the that one part. And the second part which we need to know is how by directly connecting to the Lord, we will develop affection for Him. So that is the solution part to elevate ourselves. I told you Vidyam cha Astad Vedo Bhayam Saha. So one thing is we should know about avidya. We should know how we are getting entangled. And second thing is we should know how to develop attraction to the Supreme Lord. So till now, it was Kapila's instruction. He is telling this is the reason you are entangled. Now, when Devahuti is talking, she is directly talking about the Lord now. So if we say first six chapters of Bhagavad Gita, they talk about the process of entanglement, karma. When Krishna is telling, Array, this is the do this, you'll come out of it, do this, you'll come out of it. But seventh onwards, he start telling about himself because that will help us attract, develop attraction. So that's why the chapters are counted as Bhakti Yoga. Why Bhakti Yoga? Because it helps us to uh, get connected to the Lord. So here also, when Mother Devot is praying, she is helping us to get connected to the Lord. That's why. So there is a question. Mentality means settled body. Yes, mentality is a settled body. Mentality is all the training is given to our settled body only. All these Bhagavatam classes or any training programs, it's for settled body. Gross body is anyway cannot be changed. Soul is fixed, gross body is fixed. What can be changed is only subtle body. So this is important to know that we have three levels of existence in this gross body, subtle body, and soul. So these two are fixed. This is called prarabdha. So this is fixed. We cannot change, or maybe some cosmetic surgeries a person can do and change his gender and his shape or something. But in general, the person is going to look like that only, no matter how much he change. He can at the best change his color or something, but not so much. And when it comes to soul, soul is fixed. Then all the training is can be changed. So all the training is for the subtle body only. Here in the subtle body, what are things? Man, buddhi and ahankar. So these three things are changed like that. Now here we see that the entanglement is explained. Now we need to hear the positive things. So where Mother Devot is saying, oh, first you are, Brahma is unborn, but he meditates on you. What is important is meditation. From Brahma down, everybody should meditate. Simply meditate upon you, whose body is the source of unlimited universes. So, and and then next she says that although personally you have nothing to do, so for Lord nothing to do. That means what he does, whatever he does is Leela only. It is only a play. You don't have anything to do. Means why Lord don't have anything to do? Because he don't want anything. If we are performing activity, then we have some purpose to get something. Two reasons any person acts. Sukha pravritti, dukkha nivritti. Either he want to increase his pleasure or he want to reduce the suffering. But for Lord, both are not there. He is already blissful and there is no suffering. So there is a question of action. And you have distributed your energies in the interactions of the material modes of nature, and for that reason, the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of cosmic manifestation takes place. and you are self-determined and are the supreme personality of Godhead for all living entities. For them, you create this material manifestation, although you are one. So Lord expands along with his energies. Uh, Very important to understand that Lord will not get separated when he is expanding. Like we give the example, if Prime Minister of India, he is giving some talk in New Delhi, then everybody can watch him on TV at different locations. Even in the prison also, prisoners can watch. That does not mean the Prime Minister of India, he entered into prison and got contaminated. No, he is in the prison in the form of his energy. Prime Minister is in the prison in the form of his energy and he is addressing all the people. But he himself is aloof from the prison. He is not contaminated by being in the prison. So that's like that. So Supreme Lord can be at one place with his energy he expands, still not get affected by what is happening in the prison. Like that. As a Supreme Personality of God, you have taken birth from my abdomen. So this is actually what is Devat is, because she is relating to the Lord as the Son. So she is always seeing him in that connection only, and her prayers will be in this connection. If you see Kunti's prayer, she is already connecting to him as my nephew, and how you protected my children, how you saved us this, and how you and then this is how she is relating to him. And if you see Bhishma's prayer, he is relating to the Lord in terms of a warrior. He is telling, my dear Lord, how did you kill all these soldiers? With your glance, they are all delivered. And when I was Vijaya Sakhe, you are and I'm piercing the arrows, the blood is coming. So he is relating to him like that. And if you see Brahma's prayer, he is relating to Lord with creation. Oh my dear Lord, you are the creator. I am just you. Everything is winding up like a spider. Example he gives and all. And now when Mother Devoti comes, she says, "Oh my dear Lord, you came as my son from my abdomen." So they relate. That is the deepest prayer that is coming from them. Because that's how Lord reciprocated with them. With Bhishma, he reciprocated as a warrior. With Kunti, he reciprocated as a nephew. With Brahma as a creator and father. And for Devoti as a son. So immediately the prayer is also connected to that. So you have taken birth from my abdomen. My Lord, how is this that possible for the Supreme One who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? The answer is that it is possible for at the end of millennium, you lie down on a leaf of a banyan tree. So to lick your toe of your lotus feet. So now her logic is, oh, all the cosmic manifestation is coming from you, but you as a small child, you lie down on a banyan leaf. So that is not impossible. So you are creating and you are within the creation. Similarly, all creation is in you and you are at my abdomen. And then she says, you have assumed this body in order to diminish the sinful activities of the fallen and enrich their knowledge. So, what did Kapila do to Devoti? He gave her knowledge. So, that's how she is glorifying. First, you appeared as my son, and then you gave knowledge. Knowledge for what? To diminish the sinful activities of the fallen. And such, since these sinful people are dependent on your direction, by your own will, you assumed incarnation as Boar and other forms. Similarly, you have appeared in order to distribute transcendental knowledge to your dependents. So, this is how I am your dependent, so you came and gave this knowledge. That's how she is connecting to him. And he says, to say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born of a family of dog eaters immediately become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utter the holy name of the Supreme Personality, God chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remember him. यन्नामेध्य श्रवणानुकीर्तनात् यः प्रवणाद् यत्स्मरणादपि क्वचित् स्वादोऽपि सद्यः श्रवणाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नुदर्शनात्. So Yennamadeha. So just nothing of spiritual advancement of a person sees the face to face. So seeing face to face is big thing. Even a person born of a dog eater immediately not do it. If he once utters the holy name. So here once uttering means without committing offenses. So what happens is two things. uh, we have our Swabhava and Shraddha. So here, when we are chanting the holy name, immediately all our Swabhava will be zero. Swabhava becomes zero when we chant, but without offenses. But when we commit offenses, what happens is the Shraddha becomes less. So this is actually the problem. Shraddha is diminished by offenses. So that is the reason we are not able to get the full benefit. We are chanting every day so many mantras, but because of offenses, we are not able to get the complete benefits. So here Prabhupada is writing very nice purport, very huge purport. Herein the spiritual potency of chanting, hearing, or remembering the holy name of the Supreme Lord is greatly stressed. Rupa Goswami has discussed the sequence of sinful activities of the conditioned souls, and he established in Bhaktirasamad Sindhu that those who engage in devotional service become free from the reactions of all sinful activities. So that's why this Swabhava is actually our sinful activities, the tendency to commit sinful activities. By chanting without offenses, we can make it zero. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says that He takes charge of one who surrenders unto Him. He takes him immune to all reactions of activities. One time chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Finish. You are free from all reactions. If by chanting the holy name of Supreme Personality of one becomes so swiftly cleansed of all reactions of sinful activities, then what to be said of those persons who see him face to face? That is the advantage. And like we have a very famous story from Ramayana. One king he committed some Brahma Hatya, and then he went to around and tried to ask for rectification. And everybody was giving so many impractical things. They said no hope, nothing, nothing. And he goes to an ashram. There one sage. He was not there. His son was there, and then his son, the king he says whether your father is there. The son says no, my father is not there, but anything is there, I can help you. Then king says that I committed. He thought, okay, let me try. He's a small boy. He asks, I committed some Brahma Hatya and I don't know how to rectify. He said, what is the problem? Three times you change the name of Ram, you will be freed. And then the king chants three times Ram, 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 and he chants two more extra times. I don't in case, and he gets immediately feel that experience. He feels that he got relieved from all the sin, and then he thanked the boy, and he was going out. That time the sage comes, and then the sage asks, "Oh, what happened? You came here and all these things." The king says, "Your son is very intelligent. What happened?" He said, I had this problem and I asked him solution. He told chant the name of Ram three times. The sage becomes terribly angry. He said, my son is an atheist. He don't have any faith. I know I'm immediately throwing him out of the ashram because he told to chant the name of Lord three times. Actually, one time is sufficient. He told three times. That means he don't have faith. I'm throwing him out. And he throws him out of the ashram. And he becomes Guhaka, the person who was there later on. He ends up becoming Gohaka, maybe next life or something. But the point here is the boy becomes Gohaka. Later on, he understood his mistake. So the point here is that we need to know that holy name is so powerful. That is very, very clear. So we'll see some more points what Prabhupada is telling. Another consideration here is that persons who are purified of all process of chanting and hearing becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. Generally, only a person who is born in a family of Brahmanas who has been reformed with 10 kinds of purificatory process and who is learned in Vedic literature allowed to perform Vedic sacrifice. But here the word Sadhya immediately used, and Sridhar Swami also remarks that one can immediately become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. So here what happens is like our fan is rotating. You just switch off the fan. Immediately there is no connection. So similarly, what happens is the the living entity it is so much connected to the Supreme Lord. But sorry, our the tendency to commit sinful activities is there. But what happens is immediately when person chants, the soul gets awakened and the connection cuts to the sinful tendencies that we are doing. That's actually what happens. See, now the soul is not connected to the Supreme Lord. It is just attached to the material nature. But when it come in contact with spiritual energy, the chit potency, the soul experiences that bliss. And once it experiences the bliss, then it will not want to give it up. That's why Prabhupada is writing that a person who comes to take to Krishna consciousness, he'll be dragged to perfection. Why it is like that? Because soul got the taste and now it will not get taste in any other thing. One time you chanted purely, we get so much taste that immediately soul will see there is nothing like that again. Like Ramanujacharya took Dhanurdas and showed the form of Lord. Once he saw the form of Lord, nothing in this world tasted him. He said, no, I don't want anything. I want that only. So once the soul get taste, one time the holy name of Lord experiences that, then it don't need anything. So this is actually very important. We have to know that this is most important when we chant offenselessly. So that is the advantage. But somehow we commit offense, that's why we are still stuck up. A person born in a family of low caste, which is accustomed to eat a dog, is so positioned due to his past sinful activities. But by chanting or hearing once in pureness or in an offenseless manner, he is immediately relieved of the sinful reactions. Not only is relieved of sinful reactions, but he immediately achieves the results of all purificatory processes. Taking birth in the family of a Brahmana is certainly due to pious activities in past life, but still a child who is born in a family of Brahmana depends for his further reformatory upon initiation into acceptance of a sacred thread and many other reformatory process. But a person who chant the holy name of Lord, even if born in a family of Chandala dog eaters, does not need reformatory simply by chanting Hare Krishna. He immediately becomes purified and becomes as good as the most learned Brahmanas. So here, this is not talking about the qualification in terms of social position or qualification in terms of how he is able to pronounce mantras, because if somebody has to chant the mantras he should be having good Sanskrit. And a Chandala, Mlechas and Chandalas, why the Mlecha word Mlecha means it comes from the word bleach. That means who cannot pronounce Sanskrit only. That means all most of Indians now are Mlechas only in one way. They don't know Sanskrit. If you don't know Sanskrit, even I am also Mlecha. You cannot pronounce properly Sanskrit and you are a Mlecha. So Mlechas and Havanas and Shud, all these things people. And Shudra means what? So Mlecha means who cannot pronounce Sanskrit properly. And then Shudra means one who is unhappy or one who is always sad. who, because he don't know the truth, that's why he's a Shudra. Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriyas, they understand the truth, so they don't lament. Actually, not unhappy, it is lamentation. I'm sorry. It is not unhappy. One who is lamenting. So one who is lamenting is considered as Shudra. And same thing, who is Yavana, who eats meat. So I'm giving some qualities. There are many qualities, one which you can be classified as Yavana, Mlecha, Shudra. But these are things. That means Shudra means you don't have knowledge. Higher classes of people, they are in knowledge. So they may have some lamentation, but they are not all the time lamenting like Shudra. Shudra is always lamenting. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they understand the truth. So temporarily they may get emotional. They may lament for some time, but then later on they get very easily settled. So these are the now. How can a Mlecha chant the Sanskrit mantra? He is a Mlecha. He cannot chant only. So here, when it is told the qualification is not about the about how he can pronounce the mantras, how he can explain. Here, the qualification is the attitude. Why? Because any sacrifice you say, the most important, any sacrifice if you take, what is the most important consideration for the sacrifice? Why? What is the most important thing? Sacrifice, if you say. The most important thing for the sacrifice, yeah, to please Krishna. Yes, that's why attitude is very important. I will just explain this concept of sacrifice. I have told many times. One more time I will take. This is my favorite subject. So, if this yajna could, I'm trying to draw. So, people perform this sacrifice. This is a typical view of a sacrifice. Of course, there are many 15 types of sacrifices Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. But here, if you take sacrifice, one is like the person who is performing the sacrifice is putting some grains into it. So he is performing sacrifice, is putting grains. So what happens is the grains when you perform sacrifice, they burn and ash comes. So what is burnt? Karma is burnt and the ash remains. So that means any activity which we are doing, it is actually done if it is if we put the grains. So grains you are putting in fire, it will burn. But if this is called knowledge, fire is considered to be knowledge. But if the same grains are put in ignorance, ignorance is soil. You put in soil, you put in fire. Fire you put, it is considered knowledge. It will burn. But if you put in soil, it is ignorance, it will give fruits. It will become a big tree and fruits. So this is called karma phala. So when we perform any sacrifice, we won't want to, we are not getting any reaction for that activity. But if you do activity without knowledge, in ignorance, then we get results for it. So that's over. So here we are putting grains. But the most important thing here is the Brahmana who performs sacrifice on our behalf. So, so now Brahmana, who is the person? Now he from our side we put grains. Now what Brahmana does, he puts ghee. Ghee is offered by Brahmana. The person who is organizing the yajna, he is putting the grains, but Brahmana puts the ghee part. What is the speciality of ghee part? It is considered the most essence of all the things. Like cow, it gives milk and then curd, then butter, then ghee. And it's considered the essence. Similarly, the essence is put, and what happens if you put this in the fire? It burns, but no ashes. When you put grains, there are ash, but when you put ghee, there is no ash. As soon as you put, it only increases the fire and burns, right? So similarly, that means what he is doing, Brahmana, he is offering the essence. Means what? Essence is our consciousness. Essence is. Essence is our consciousness. So he is offering our consciousness on behalf of us. That's why we need a Brahmana or a spiritual or this type of person who helps us offer our consciousness to the Supreme Lord. That's why he is eligible to perform yajna, because he helps us to offer our consciousness and we accept him. Without a Brahmana sacrifice nowadays, people put a recording on YouTube or something and then they perform sacrifice at home. It won't work like that. It is a mockery only. It is all bogus. So, examples of sacrifices. Yeah, we are doing every day morning sitting and chanting. We take help of our guru and we chant the holy name. That is our sacrifice. And in that, the most important thing is with what consciousness we are doing that sacrifice. Uh, like that. Yes, Gail Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, and this connection with the, as you're saying, the consciousness with which we do a sacrifice is the most important ingredient of the sacrifice. But in this connection, you made this analogy of um, putting grain into the fire versus, I think, putting grain into the earth, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that I'm clear about the analogy. So when we put grain into the fire, it's like sacrifice done with improper consciousness, is it?
No,
And
no,
when
no,
we
no,
put,
no. No, no, I'll
oh,
explain. No, when we are putting grains into soil, means what? We are doing an activity not as a sacrifice, we are just doing in ignorance. So, action in ignorance is putting grains in soil. Action for
ignorance.
fruitive activities in ignorance. It is means
Wait,
for
wait.
result or fruitive activities.
Oh, putting grains in soil is because
Like
we want the
actions.
fruit of that, right?
So you get results.
Fruit.
You get results of the fruits.
So that's ignorance because that just
Ah,
leads to
but
entangle.
we should do
That just leads to
action as a
entanglement.
sacrifice.
So
Action as
that's
sacrifice.
so that's analogous to putting grains into
Creates
the
in
fire.
fire. No reaction.
Oh, oh,
So
oh.
when Krishna is telling yajnartha karmano anyatra loko in karma bandhana. Karma bandhana means you are getting bondage here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling you do activity as yajna, as a sacrifice. Yajnartha karmana anyatra loko. Anyatra means if you don't do as a sacrifice your action, then your heart is like ignorance. It is filled with soil. Then the results is you are getting bondage. But if you do your
Yes.
action as a sacrifice, then you are
Mm-hmm.
putting these grains in fire, no reaction. Otherwise, bondage. You are free here, liberated.
Okay, and then when you said, um, was it when you brought up this word ash, right? Was that when you put the grain into the fire and you get ash because there's no fruit? You know, what did you what did the ash mean when you brought up that word?
There will be some remnants for it because it is not completely grain will not burn completely. There will be something will remain here. But what happens is what Guru does, we need that's why we need a spiritual master for any sacrifice. So he will put the essence of our consciousness. So this is only actions. So sometimes actions 100% may not be free from reaction. There will be something remaining. But when it is come to ghee, there is nothing remain. Ghee in fire, no ash also. So what Guru
Well,
is doing, he is helping us to develop a good consciousness so that we don't get any results from it.
well, when if we are doing uh yes, some service in the proper consciousness, right?
Hmm.
Why should why should there be any residual like reaction?
Yeah, who will help you to do it? Who is helping you to get good consciousness? Guru, na? He will
Yeah.
train. He gives that understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Guru is trying to get the essence. So of all, like I have performed an activity, what is the most important ingredient of the activity? The consciousness, not
Yeah.
the action itself, right?
Yeah.
So like I chanted 64 rounds. In that only 2 rounds I am conscious. That means how much benefit I got of the 2 rounds only,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Remaining 62 rounds they are chanted only, but it does not have much effect. So it's like a grain in fire. At least I didn't get reaction, but I didn't get much benefit. But the two important rounds which I chanted with consciousness will have maximum benefit. So similarly, Guru helps us to get the maximum benefit of our activity. He will offer our consciousness to Krishna. He helps us offer our consciousness to Krishna. That's why he is very important for us. And any sacrifices, he is the most important person, the Guru.
I was thinking that those 62 rounds that you didn't chant so well, maybe that was like the ash.
At least see what happens is that time which we have spent will not have any reaction. At least because we try to give it to Krishna. You are no
Yeah, but
reaction action, that is. Even though you may not get completely, you don't get any fruitive results, but you don't get reaction also for it. So at least some benefit is there, not complete benefit. At least I spent some time with Krishna. I tried to spend some time.
so there's no, in that example, there's no ash then.
Yeah, there is no action.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. I guess there's
generally
only
he's
ash
trying to help
if
us
you don't
that.
if you don't get the help of the spiritual master, then that time there's ash,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. We need always help of spiritual master.
Mm. Okay. Thank you.
It will not have much effect. No, no. See, the grains are also burnt, na? You don't get reaction for the activity anyway. See, grains, if you put in ignorance, you have a problem. Grains you
Mm-hmm.
put in fire, no reaction. So, if I do any activity, there should be always reaction. But any activity connected to Krishna is like in knowledge. So, this fire is knowledge. If I do an activity with knowledge, I get benefit from it. So that is the important. Like I know I have to hear Bhagavatam. So I this is the knowledge I have. So I am hearing Bhagavatam. But if I do it in a proper consciousness, I get maximum benefit. I get otherwise I get benefit. Like I am doing my cooking and I am doing my other things and I am hearing Bhagavatam. I get benefited. But if I sit and make notes and doing it properly, I get more benefited. So benefit is there, but how much we are putting conscious. So that Guru does that. So he is a very important person because he helps in consciousness. So now a person, even though he may be born in any family, he is eligible to perform, help us guide in performing a sacrifice if he is having a good consciousness. So here Guru is not just the qualification of chanting mantras, but here in terms of consciousness. So now that's why we have many Prabhupada disciples who are not born in India, who are not born in Brahmin families, but they are eligible to give Diksha. They are eligible to become Guru. Why? Because they are helping us to develop our consciousness and become closer to Krishna because they have developed that. So it is not an I told no, it's not about the language, how you pronounce the mantras, because one who is not born in a Brahmana family, for him to chant the mantras is quite difficult. He cannot chant the mantras because the training is from the birth. And another is the sanskaras are very strong, different direction. Many of them, like Prabhupada went to Chennai, some of the devotees, some outside people, they said, Swamiji, your disciples pronunciation is not correct when they're chanting some Sanskrit Bhagavad Gita shlokas Bhagavatam. They said, Swamiji, your disciples pronunciation is not correct. Prabhupada said, their pronunciation is not correct, but their renunciation is correct. So that means that they are eligible to practice bhakti and they can guide others also to practice. So here the qualification of guru, what is explained here is not that external how he is able to pronounce and how meticulously he is able to arrange the sacrifice and pronounce the mantras. It is in terms of the consciousness in which he can guide the living entities. Viprad Vishadgunayuta Aravinda Nabha Padaravinda Vimuka Swapacham Varishtam. Now, he says Viprad Vishad Gunayuta is 12 qualities which are Sanak Sujata scripture it is given. There are 12 qualities of Brahmana. So he is Viprad Vishad Gunayuta. He is full of all these qualities. But Padara Vinda Vimuka, but he is not a devotee, then Swapacham Varishtam is a dog eater is better. He can not only deliver himself, he can deliver his whole family also. He is much better than a Brahmana because he can deliver his family. So that is the main point here that is understood. And Sridhar Swami especially remarks in this connection, Annina Purjatvam Lakshate. Some caste Brahmanas remark that by chanting Hare Krishna, purification begins. Of course, that depends on the individual process of chanting. But this remark of Sridhar Swami's is completely applicable if one chant the holy name of Lord without offenses. So this is main criteria. Lord without offenses. If this is not taken consider, then everything goes wrong. But he immediately becomes more than a Brahmana. Why? His consciousness is of a Vaishnava. So here, what is understood is of consciousness. As Sridhar Swami says, Purjatvam, he immediately becomes as respectable as the most learned Brahmana and can be allowed to perform Vedic sacrifice if simply by chanting the holy name of Lord one becomes sanctified instantly, then what can be said of those persons who see the Supreme Lord face to face, who understand the descent of Lord as Devoti understood Kapildev? So many people saw, like even Duryodhana also saw Krishna, but because of his uh, inimical attitude towards Pandavas, he could not understand Krishna. So why Duryodhana could not, even the Supreme Lord is in front of him, he committed offense to Vaishnavas. So there are four offenses: Vaishnava Prad, Nama Prad, Seva Prad, Dhama Prad. So any of these offenses you commit, then even the Supreme Lord comes to our house directly, knocks the bell, still we will not be able to understand him. Usually, intention depends on the bona fide spiritual master. You see, what is working here is this is what is consciousness. Intention depend who directs the disciple. So this is what we discussed till now. Who directs the disciple? Because
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid to ask this because it's going to be like beating a dead horse, you know. But I understand that when we perform our sacrifices, like chanting any of the nine limbs of devotional service, it's like putting the grains into the fire, you know, and with the help of the spiritual master, right?
yeah.
But so my dead horse that I'm beating is this concept of the ash, which, you know, I'm not sure when that ash is created, this residue, when is that created and
Oh,
making sacrifice?
here the point is that we may not be able to 100% clear the karma. That's the main point. Like 100% I may not be free from it. if I am just putting the, like say I am chanting, I chanted for 10 years, but I didn't put consciousness, how much benefit I'll get?
Well, I don't. I'm if I mean if a person. I mean, is the spiritual master involved in this? Like for this, the disciple who did not put consciousness properly, but he does, have spiritual master, right? Will the spiritual master, I mean, what role will the spiritual master play in that disciple not getting any reactions? I mean, it's just not
Yeah,
so.
so that's what here now the intention depends on the bona fide spiritual master who directs the disciple. So I am my own, I only create ashes. Of course, I will be free from that karma. So you are free, but we may not get completely. So spiritual master is a person who helps it, who just without ghee, no, the fire will not grow. You need to have fire. To increase the fire, you have to put the ghee. Otherwise, just putting the grains, the fire will extinguish. To start the fire, you need ghee only. So that is how it works. We have to increase, and spiritual master is there to help us. On our own, we cannot do. We just putting keeping on grains. No, Guru is there who puts our consciousness also. He offers our consciousness. Lord accepts consciousness, the purest part, and consciousness plus our action, both. Not just action. With action, we need consciousness also.
Okay, so if you have the actions, but you don't have proper consciousness, then there will be
Very
reactions.
slight benefit.
No, no,
Benefit is there. I don't say like say I chanted for say whole day I sat and chanted. Will I not get benefit? I get benefit. But if you have chanted with very higher consciousness, you get more benefit. I am not telling Prabhuji I chanted 192 rounds today. And somebody says how much, how with what quality? Not so much quality. So whatever rounds you chanted with quality, you get benefit. Other things also, now he spent 20 hours in a day. Will he not? Because he spent with Krishna only, somehow here and there he was with Krishna. So he get benefit, but not so much benefit.
but a person who, you know, doesn't chant with proper consciousness, I mean, even for that person, there's no karmic reaction,
Ah,
right?
that's the point, na. So that's why if you are putting the grains in soil, then only you get fruits for it. But if you are putting in fire, there is no reaction. So 22 hours you are not getting any reaction also as such. Of course, you are not getting full
Yeah,
benefit, but no reaction also.
and no reaction means no ash.
No, no, no reaction means no fruits, not ash.
Yeah,
Ash is not
right. And so,
reaction.
and this is why
Fruits
I'm
is
getting confused.
reaction.
This
I told here,
ash,
fruits is
I
reaction
can't.
bondage.
Yeah, I understand the reaction. The fruits is the reaction, but this concept of the ash, I don't know. Somehow I'm not understanding this. What this ash is? The
Ash is
ash.
just not much benefit, that's all. You're not-
Oh, just okay. It means I tried to chant 64 rounds, but I only did two well, right? So 62 is like the ash.
Yeah, not full benefit, but no reaction for it.
Not Yeah, no reaction, but not full benefit.
Yeah,
That's the ash. That's
yeah.
the ash. Whew, okay, finally. Thank you, Boo.
So, yeah, so we should think of spiritual master before chanting to purify our consciousness. Yes, all the time. So Prabhupada is our spiritual master, initiating spiritual master. Everybody will have some spiritual master. We should think of Prabhupada, we should think of our Guru, and then because through Prabhupada we got, through our initiating Guru we got. Right? Anybody is okay, but some Guru should be there. Even Siksha Guru also will do, but some Guru is there. So he directs us. I think we'll at least complete this one shloka for today. Actually, important shloka. We will not get this concept will be very clear, I thought. If he sees, so usually intention depends on the bona fide spiritual master who directs the disciple. Sorry, initiation. So, with initiation depends on bona fide. If he sees that the disciple has become competent and purified by the process of chanting, he offers a sacred thread to disciple just to see that he will be recognized as 100% equal to a with a Brahmana. So this is actually, so Guru gives initiation, but he directs the disciple. So and recognize as 100% equal with the Brahmana. This is also confirmed Haribhakti Lasa. A base metal like bell metal can be changed into gold by chemical process. Any person can similarly be changed into a Brahmana by Diksha Vidhi or initiation process. So, initiation is what changes the disciple. It is sometimes remarked that by chanting process one begins to purify himself and can take birth in his next life in a Brahmana family and then be reformed. So this is also, but at this present moment, even those who are born in the best Brahmana families are not reformed, nor is there any certainty they are actually born of Brahmana fathers. Formerly, the Garbhasana reformatory system was prevalent, but at the present moment, there is no such Garbhadana or seed giving ceremony. Under these circumstances, no one knows if a father is factually born of a Brahmana father. The man is factually born. Whether one has acquired the qualification of a Brahmana depends on the judgment of a bona fide spiritual master. So Guru only tells, like Rishabh Dev, he got 100 sons, but not all are Brahmanas. Even the Rishabh Dev, in that nine are Paramahamsas, few are Brahmanas, few are Kshatriyas, he got everybody, mixed. So he bestows upon the disciple. Actually, this is a different topic. I will not take it. When one is accepted as a Brahman in the sacred thread ceremony under the Pancharatrika system, then he is Dvija, twice born. This is confirmed by Sanatan Goswami. Dvijatvam Jayate. By the process of initiation by the spiritual master, a person is accepted as a Brahmana and he in his purified state of chanting the holy name of the Lord. He then makes further progress to become qualified Vaishnava, which means that Brahmanical qualification are already acquired. Okay, thank you all very much. So there is one question. So we should think of spiritual master before chanting to purify. So what to meditate while chanting? Yeah, while chanting, just hear the holy name, pray, 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 and whatever meditation we have to get, Krishna will only reveal himself. No need separately thinking of any meditation. You just think of chanting the holy name in a prayerful mood. That itself is a success. No need of any separate meditation. Our meditation is uh, how best I can hear the holy name. So other things will automatically happen. Krishna will take care what we have to uh, meditate upon. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय.